Good morning, guys. Good morning. It is great to be back for another week of Transmog farming. Alright. So, today, I figured we'd start with a video I haven't seen. Came out a few days ago. And I figured, you know what? Let's just watch it together. I've followed this guy a while, and you know, he remakes some awesome stuff. I have some of these mounts myself, so seeing them redone was awesome. So let's just pause the music in the background and we'll just get started with this vid.
When World of Warcraft first released in 2004, the original 8 races were given each their own racial mounts, and while they're all iconic in their own ways, few among them felt as much like a match made in heaven as the trolls and their raptors. Being among Azeroth's most ferocious beasts, the raptors of Kalimdor are an essential part of troll culture, with raptor taming going back all the way to the first Gurubashi Empire. Among the Darkspear trolls, taming one of them.
I think we're dropping some frames here. Let's just give it a second. Yeah. Seems like it's catching up. Alright. Well, this is cool so far. Yeah, all this stuff with the trolls. I definitely have the troll base mounts, so the reputation for the Darkspear trolls that the Horde can play. So we will definitely see where this goes.
Is considered to be the sign of a true hunter, as they view the raptor as nature's ultimate predator, and taming them very dangerous. While raptors are first and foremost troll mounts, characters of other horde races were able to buy them too, if they were exalted with the Darkspear trolls. Oh, except for Thorin, who were specifically excluded because they were my favorite race, and Blizzard hates me. I first laid eyes upon the raptors as an 8-year-old boy, exploring Azeroth when I stumbled my way into Sen'jin village. Ever since that day, they have been my favorite mounts, and 20 years later, it felt just right to take it upon myself to bring these beauties into the modern day. There are 2 main types of raptor mounts in Classic WoW, the regular raptors and the armored epic ones. Of the regular version, there are 3 distinct skins which a character could purchase upon hitting level 40. The violet raptor, the emerald raptor, and the turquoise raptor, each of them having their very own unique aesthetic. I say unique, but the model is actually just a modified version of this raptor, which becomes pretty obvious when looking at their texture files. They added some details like the markings, the straps, and you can actually tell that they had to sacrifice the feathers to fit the saddle.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't sort of use a completely different texture file. Similar, but maybe enlarged a little bit so that they could fit more of the detail in there. But otherwise, yeah, this is good texture work. It's what I would expect from a company like this. It is kind of strange that they would square it off so much. But nonetheless, I do like. There is the saddle there is completely gone, so they could fit the feathers in. All right. Well, let's continue, shall we?
Combine this with obviously changing the shape, and honestly, I never noticed it myself before doing this video. That's how you make games at scale. Remaking a regular version seemed like a logical place for me to start, beginning by modeling a brand new raptor model. Now, if I wanted to take a shortcut, I could just take one of the newer raptor models from the game, because, there are some, and simply tweak the shape until it matches what I want. But I feel like it goes against the spirit of what we're trying to do here. Indeed. We're gonna go from scratch. Having reached the start of his neck, I worked my way up as I got ready to model my raptor's head. And when I did finally take this task upon me, I first outlined the way I want my edges to flow, creating a sort of frame before going in to build out the features in between. I modeled the raptor's absolute unit of an eye socket to make sure that I would have a place to put it when it was time to make his eye. I went on to model his nose. Or horn. I hadn't decided yet. I approached this project in stages. Like I said, I would begin by making the slow versions before moving on to create the epic versions later on. But beyond that, I wanted to ensure that I would first create a full-fledged, fully functional, naked raptor model. Not a mount where you remove the saddle and underneath there's either a gaping hole or just kinda some bullshit. Reason being that I'm LARPing as a Blizzard artist. Blizzard makes games, and when you make games, in my opinion, it's just handy to have those assets in case you need them later. But also, because I would like to perhaps make more variants of raptor mounts in the future, my own design or otherwise, and I want to leave myself a clean slate from which to do so. There are lots of interesting things to do with it, and for the sake of pacing, you wouldn't think so in a video, but creating the naked raptor would actually be most of the work. Because my raptor's gotta eat, I modeled him a nifty tooth, which I would duplicate a bunch of times to create him a nice row of pearls. Because my raptor's gotta lick things, I also modeled him a little raptor tongue, useful for the licking of things. And with
This guy's topology is always awesome. It's awesome seeing people that actually really know what they're doing with the 3D modeling software. I only really know 3ds Max. Sort of have Blender, played around with it. I am terrible, absolutely terrible with it, but seeing how effortlessly the tools in it is just no joke, right? Just the guy knows what he's doing.
that, the modeling done, I rigged it to the skeleton of the in-game raptor, so we could use the existing animations. For those of you new to rigging, you decide how much each point in the model is affected by each bone, all the while having as little fun as humanly possible.
This is so true. Rigging, you literally pull your hair out. People that can do rigging, bless them, because getting it to work properly is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. If you've got a hard modeled robot that moves very square and rigid, that's a lot easier. But organic creatures that need to move properly, blending weights to the correct bones can be a nightmare. Oh, ridiculous.
And that, my friends, yields us an unsaddled raptor mount. My raptor in the nude being a fact, I went in to dress him up, beginning with the reins, which I'm just delighted that this is one of the few mounts in the game that actually has them. I love reins, and if it was up to me, every mount in the game would have a full set of saddle, reins, and stirrups. But it's not. Yeah. On the original Raptors, the bridle is just painted onto his head, but I went in and gave it its own geometry. And at last, went on to model the saddle. Nothing too fancy, just a basic bit for the rider to sit on, and an outer bit that I would later paint and tweak to be whatever I would figure would make it a nice saddle. The original has a saddle, but it's just a default saddle that vanilla mounts share, so it was open for some liberty. Anyway, all of this took the slow Raptor model. From this to this. Awesome. Now to
That topology, especially the change, is wicked. Especially now that the Blizzard, the game engine should be able to definitely hold much more geometry. So something like this is what I would expect from them now. Like back in, 2004 when the game first came out, yeah, you couldn't put as much geometry as you would love in there. And this is great low poly work that would work over the internet. So yes, this is great. Yes.
paint its texture. But first, deciding on the layout of those textures. I kept things separated between one texture file for my raptor and one for the saddle and other things that are not the raptor or painted directly onto the raptor. Putting pen to tablet, I laid down his basic colors and values. The actual colors I was going to be painting in were irrelevant for now though, because I was going to recolor it all anyway, by throwing my finished texture file into Photoshop and using gradient maps to create different variants. So I went for the color red, thinking, why not make a red raptor? Until I started to think, why would I make a red raptor? I made it green. Not his horn though, that was grey. And also not his bottom side, which was also a different color to the top. I painted in a separate layer that would only affect color, not the lights and darks, and set it aside to use as a mask for when I get into the recoloring stages, because the raptor has more than just one color. His mouth deserved some love too, of course. Nope, not like that. So I went in and gave it a nice coat of paint, making sure his tongue looked nice and specular and his teeth nice and toothy. Having laid a nice basis for my raptor friend, I went in and painted on his scales. Because it's always a good idea to work non-destructively, I painted the scales onto a separate layer, so I could always erase them and redo it. This ended up being a completely unnecessary precaution, as I got the scales right on my first try, without needing a bunch of do-overs. And it also really didn't take that long. And also my channel will reach 100,000 subscribers after this video, and Blizzard will hire me. Haha. No, but I did get it right eventually, after a lot of fuckery, so there was a light at the end of that tunnel. Having painted in the basis of my raptor scales, I went in to really bring it all to life, adding in more.
This sort of painting I could never do. I'm just terrible. If you want a colored character that's like one color here and one color there, and then use the in-game engine to give lighting on it, that's me. But something like this, ooh, it would take me too long to get something like this out for you. And the detail on it's wicked sick. He's got his scales right, that's for sure.
More volume, highlighting them, deepening the creases where the skin would bend, because that's what scales do, and making my raptor a true raptor. Scales aren't something that I find myself painting all that often, but I will say, despite having a little bit of a struggle with the pattern initially, I really did enjoy painting this guy a lot. There's just so much to work with, adding a little edge highlights to the top of the scales, adding in some softer shadows to create more bumpiness. I just felt like it went from block out to actually looking nice very fast at this stage, which felt rewarding. I find creatures to be very fun to do in general. A lot of you guys have been asking me when my next mount video would come out, because it had been a while since my previous one, and I mean I wish it hadn't been, but the reason for that is really just that they take absolutely forever to do. I mean there's a reason we still have this 20-year-old mount in the game, which sucks, because again, I do really enjoy making mounts. Anyway, as I went on fleshing out different parts of the texture, my big lizard began to come to life. However, there were just a few things left to do before we could call the job done. The raptors have secondary colors throughout their skin. Mine, being flat and boring, I would need to paint them on too. I did this, like I did with the belly of the raptor, by simply painting on a separate layer that would only affect the raptor's colors, but will leave the values, or lights and darks, of the layers underneath untouched. Then finally, it was time to paint the saddle and reins, which, like I said, I'd put on its own separate texture, leaving my raptor model completely independent in its own little texture file. Having painted a nice fur trim, I added some nice red, dark spiritual wrappings around it. I didn't really know what to do with this bit, and trolls make their buildings with red wrapping stuff, so why not saddles? The original has a metal bit that keeps everything in place, but again that's just the default saddle, so I wanted to do something custom. Painting his reins and saddle was a fun one. As much as I enjoyed painting my raptor, some variety of materials and shapes is always welcome after that many hours, and my saddle had a whole lot of stuff going on. Separate leather patches, stitchings, fur, a whole party. The slow version of the raptor mount has this tribal war paint stuff below its eye and on its hip. I painted it onto my raptor in a separate layer, trying to avoid making it look like a tattoo. Rather, I wanted it to look like a troll had just kinda smeared it on, getting caught more in the elevated bits of his skin and cracking between its scales after it had dried and the raptor moved around. I did the same thing below his eye, trying to apply the same principles, but just at a smaller scale, and painted all the straps onto the raptor's body. But rather than walk you through another 10 minutes of me finalizing the textures, I will instead present to you, for the first time in over 20 years, the new and updated classic raptor mounts.
You look at the difference between them. That's wicked sick. If I could run around with a raptor like that, I definitely would. Certainly on any of the troll characters I might have or create in the future. That looks wicked. Using the layers for the different colors along like the lower side being different color and then the smearing of the paint. That was wicked. Man, it was awesome how we could get the detail in here using the cracks as a guide. That makes total sense. Like as the paint dries and then the creature moves. Yeah, that's wicked sick. Good attention to detail.
Now, as much as I love the regular Raptor mounts, the real stars of the show are of course the amazing, the grandiose, level 60 epic versions. The Swift Orange, Swift Blue, and Swift Olive Raptor, whose color is indeed not olive. Then there's the Black War Raptor, which is not a racial mount, but rather sold by the PvP vendor to any PvPer who of course isn't a Tauren for some reason. Now these epic versions were actually
I can't remember if I have the PvP mount, the black one there. There's also another mount. I don't think he's shown in here, but there's a white one. And I'm not sure if I have that one either. But I know a few mount collectors alongside myself that have them. That they love to do the grinding, and it's very easy to get reputation, especially from classic. Reputation grinds are very easy. Just jump into just about any dungeon, kill the bosses, and you're getting reputation. Do the quests as you're questing as a new character. You pretty much guaranteed to just get exalted, and then you can just buy the mounts. Especially these days where the gold is so easy to get, you could buy all of that very easy. You just finish a quest line and you can buy them because they're not expensive. Alright.
not there upon the game's release. Rather, they were added later on, in patch 1.4, which also introduced the game's PvP reward system. Coincidentally, in the game files, the name of the epic model is PvP Riding Raptor, which makes me wonder if Blizzard initially intended these to be only PvP rewards, but realized that regular epic mounts deserve to look special too. Because before that, they didn't. Indeed, prior to 1.4, the epic mounts were just recolors of the slow version, and there was only 2 of them, not 3. The Swift Ivory Raptor, which is actually the only raptor in the game with a stripy pattern.
I think looks incredible, even like with the 20-year-old version of it. Really cool mount. I'd have to check if I have it or not. We can do that after the vid. See what raptor mounts I have. But there was a bunch of new ones that were added in BFA and Mr. Pandaria that you could get as some rewards. There's a couple quest ones, and I think there's a few from the Isle of Giants as well. So we'll have to see what I got. I wonder how this is going to turn out, the white one, because that looks wicked.
And the modeled red raptor, whose texture file is fittingly called Riding Raptor Skin Tomato. Because patch 1.4 released only around 5 months into the game's launch, hardly anyone had even reached level 60 yet, let alone accumulated 1,000 gold to buy their epic mounts, meaning barely anyone ever actually obtained the original models. Those who had were allowed to swap them out for the new ones, deleting a large portion of those that did exist. However, even though it is extremely rare, you can still run into the occasional player from those days who still has one of these mounts, over 20 years after the brief window that they were in the game for. With patch 1.7, Rise of the Blood God, Blizzard added one more raptor into vanilla, the Swift Rosashi Raptor, a rare drop from Zul'Gurub. This mount was also removed during Cataclysm when they revamped the raid and replaced with a different version. However, it still pops up in the black market auction house. Before Wrath of the Lich King, this was actually the only raptor Tauren players could use. And because it dropped from a raid, the only raptor that Alliance could use. I actually played Alliance during the re-release and farmed out like 8k gold for the day that it would drop, and I could buy it off the person who won their role. It never did. Modeling the epic raptor mounts, I started by building its backplates. This is the texture file of the original. Besides its head, the entirety of its armor uses this little square of texture in the middle. That spiky on one end, jaggedy on the other end trim design. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that. Having modeled one plate, I placed it onto my once again summerly dressed raptor, duplicating and reshaping to fit them where they belong. Head removed from my ass, I realized that they had way more polys than they really warranted and immediately went back in and deleted all my hard work. After which I modeled a neat little cloth that sits on the Epic version's back, which in the original actually has a Horde logo on it, but it's hidden underneath the saddle. It's kind of interesting. Next, I began modeling the head armor of the raptor, or chevron in English, or at least it's what it's called on a horse, starting with a bit on his snout. Made his horn go because the epic one is a different horn, an armored one, which I'll be making from scratch, modeling my way up from its base towards the tip. He also has a different head shape to the regular one, probably to fit the armor better, so I adjusted mine too. The armor continues to cover the top of his eye sockets, as well as having a neat little covering for his little raptor dome, and then modeled it to come down around the bottom of his eye, where it meets again at the front with his nose guard, protecting most of his face. But as always, his shape needs polishing up, after which I gave Mr. Raptor his clown's nose, or horn cap. I hadn't decided yet. Then the part that, for me, really sells the design of the epic raptor mounts, and gives it its distinct silhouette, which is the armor piece that sits at the back of his head, holding his iconic row of feathers. I modeled it only to once again realize I'd gone overboard with the polygons, after which I went ahead to model said feathers, making one base version, which I would start out with.
I think this is the model that was used, well, sort of like, it was in the TBC Burning Crusade opening trailer, which was wicked. You could see Troll on his raptor, and that was wicked sick. It was an armored one with all the feathers. So if you watch that again, you'll see it there. That's wicked.
And scale down to different sizes and shapes to create some variation as the row went down towards the bottom. Added the armor plates under his head that protect the back of the neck from the rider, after which I went to work on the raptor's iconic leg plates, first blocking out the basic shape and where I wanted them to sit, before giving it that same iconic jaggedy top edge. Then at last, I modeled this arm protection. This part I honestly would have normally modeled from the arm itself, but I didn't, and here we are. And with that, the updated model of the epic raptor mounts looked something like this. Once again,
That is a hell of an upgrade. The armor is fully fleshed out. And the way it moves, like if I just go back just a little bit. Look at the polys. It's so small, and they're barely bits of armor that barely stick out from the model itself. They did well back in 2004. Now we have chance to actually really get some really good go and show the armor, give it some bulk.
The model of the epic raptor mounts looked something like this. Once again, I was going to split my raptor into two textures, one for the creature and one for the other bits and bobs. And much like my previous round, I would start by working in my basic values and colors, slowly building it out into a more and more specific version of what they were eventually destined to be. Like I said before, the raptor mount is a special one for me. As a kid, my first obsession was dinosaurs. Then WoW came along and it became fantasy. Discovering these mounts was like the ultimate bridge between the two, and 20 years later, I look back and still think it's my favorite 3D model, period. Because I'm doing all this work for a single YouTube video, and because my revenue is limited, I am kind of forced to rush on a lot of this stuff. But if it wasn't for that, I would have happily spent even longer on these than I already did. It was kind of...
Already you can see how the armor's coming along. And he's not wrong about loving dinosaurs as a young kid. I still love dinosaurs. Still love them. Jurassic Park is beloved. Even the new ones. I haven't seen much of the latest one. Beyond the basic trailer for it, whatever they released, but we'll see how that goes when it gets released. Apparently it's supposed to be like a semi-reboot that's supposed to happen after. So they're just rebooting with new characters, I guess. Not redoing the story, but giving a soft reset, I guess you could say.
Like the Judgment video for me, where it was more than just a 3D asset I was making. It was a tribute to something that I had loved ever since I was a kid. The Epic Raptors have a lot more bits and bobs on the mount itself that the slow version didn't have, like wrappings around the legs, arms, rope around the neck, additional leather straps that would logically be there, given that stapling these armor plates on would not be very nice to the Raptor. I thought about adding some of these into the slow Raptor because I thought I would just make them look cooler, but ultimately I chose faithfulness to the source material. Having laid down a solid basis for the Raptor bits and bobs, I went back to painting the armor, adding in the smaller details like the bolts that the Raptor has all over these metal plates. Pretty happy with the foundation I'd laid for the armor at this point. I went in to further paint out the surface details. Because these are troll mounts, I wanted the metal to look rough, having lots of surface irregularities and bits of damage from being used and, realistically, poorly crafted and maintained. I tend to use a pretty hard brush in this stage, probably overdo it quite a bit, but usually go in later with a less aggressive brush to soften them out, cleaning up some of the edges and make it overall just a bit more subtle. It's important to find a balance, especially when you don't have the sometimes luxury, sometimes curse of obliterating the texture resolution before implementing it into a game. I did some more work on the feathers, trying to find a look for them that felt right and make them readable from afar. Preparing for the final stages of polish, I painted in some ambient occlusion, keeping it quite aggressive so I could later tone them down as I wished. But enough of all that, because it's time. I present to you, once again, after 20 years, the one and only, the legendary, and now updated, epic Raptor mounts.
They are absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. If you could shove them in the game, I would throw them as quickly as possible in the game, even if it was just client side and only I could see them. They are absolutely amazing. Great, great work. This white one here, this turned incredible. Look at the way it looks. Oh, goodness. It's such a glow up from the original. Oh, my goodness. Just go back half a moment. That's the original there. And that looks good. Especially considering it's like from 24, from 2004. And then its glow up is just absolutely amazing. That's incredible. The fidelity on it is just, and it keeps the same silhouette. Incredible, incredible.
Some people have been frustrated that I never mentioned the amount of hours I spent. For this one it was like 60-ish hours for the art, and many more for the video. If you want to support me as an artist, you can follow the link in the description and follow my art station. Drop me some nice likes and comments, and you can even see the Invincible remake I did for Gamescom last year. If you want to support me as a content creator, it would mean a lot if you liked the video, left a comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for watching, and who knows, maybe I'll see some of you guys at this year's Gamescom.
Give that one a like. That was absolutely incredible. Incredible. Alright. I think we should probably switch over to our game and we can finish off our transmog. Alright, let's switch over to the game. Alrighty. Let us. And as I promised on Thursday, I would finish off the reputation grind for the consortium. That was not a fun grind. But have completed it. And we are ready. I also have the Eye of Haramad, which contains, well, it doesn't contain, but allows us access to that hidden boss in the Mana Tombs, which is what we were last at. Here we are. Dungeons complete. Walking down Mana Tombs, and we are close to completing it. So, let's also have a look at those raptor mounts so we can have a look at them. So if I just type in, well, let's move that text first. Raptor. Okay, so this one is from Missa Pandaria. So here is that. This is the one that you get from PvP, the black and red one. That's from Isle Giants too. Yep, there's one that you get from Troll Reputation. That's from BFA. There's the Swift Blue one, the Swift Olive one, the yellowy purple one, the orange one, turquoise, and the violet one. Very cool. There are some really cool raptors you can get. Yeah, I haven't got this one, but if we get to, I'm not sure what that came in. If it was yeah, from what I'm looking at, come in Cataclysm, so we'll see that then. So here's some. Oh, that's not a raptor. Dark Spear Raptor. That's from Ice Crown. Archaeology. And that's another one from the Primal Eggs. So. Swift Purple, that's from Ice Crown as well. That must be a reputation one that I do not have. A Vicious War Raptor. Okay. Or maybe in the future I will do some more PvP, but that is not for today. Today we are after Mana Tombs, which we're not far from. Mana Tombs here. We should just fly over and get started. Alright. Keep going. It's this one. clear and empty bags. Let's get going. So we are going to go into Heroic. The one thing about Heroic is we will not be able to get all of the items that we want from Heroic. So we'll have to do it at least twice. Because Yor is the one that has any Heroic items that are different from normal. I'll just pull up the... And you can see it here, so we only have a few items that are separate. So normal doesn't have Yor at all. And in normal, both Pandemonious and Nexus Prince still drop the same item. So we're just literally here for Yor's items. So, let's hide our text. Let's get going. Pull these 6, wipe them out. Now in this area we can just link past them and kill the boss. And then everything will run towards us. We did not get the boots of the Outlander, so we were looking for these boots here. Let's just hide that and zoom in a bit. We were looking for these boots. They're not great boots by any means, but we were looking for them. From Yor, we're looking for this chest piece, hide those shoulders, and a bag. We're looking for this top and this one as well, which is kind of goes with the aesthetic of the type of character I'm playing with the ILs. Alright, so let's pull everything from this room. Let's load again. And we'll grab them as well, and then we'll just sort of hide over here. They all should come towards us. We can clear the room. There we go. Alright. Let's see. We didn't need any of that stuff. But there's still a little bit. And we didn't need any of that stuff either. We have this Ethereum prison key now. We just dropped it. Let's see what's in this stasis chamber. It's certainly not the boss, as far as I know. The boss is near the end. Oh, that's a... Yeah, we're doing a whole different thing. This is for out and about in the Blade Edge Mountains and Netherstorm, it looks. Oh, that's fine. Little critters that just run around in front of everyone. They would not normally do that in the real world. I think it'd only be a little bit of programming and then they would act more natural. I'm just gonna go this way and grab these two. Leeches, Nexus Terror. And we want that group there as well. And I think if we hide here, bring those casters over. Okay. So this boss we have completed everything on. Tower Rock. So we're just gonna blast him. Just grab what he has and mine what he has. Alright, so he drops some of this cool stuff here. We can sell that. Let's wipe out these 6. Looks like you get plenty of prison keys from in here, so if you're looking to farm them, it looks like you can just get them. Alright, we'll just clear this room. Move to the next one. Close Pandemonius there. Oh, I missed that necklace there. That should do it. Is that new? It has got a plus on it. No, it's not new. What does it look like? I'd say that it would hurt quite a bit to be hit by that. But let's continue. Oh yeah. He's got a stoppable force. Alright, we'll just grab everything in this room.
What is this? You must forgive me. I was not expecting help.
And this one.
But no matter, as I am a
I have been silenced. There we go. This is where the boss should be. Unless I need to kill this guy first. This guy owes us this warp bow. Nice looking bow. And a belt, which you can't see unless I put some pants on. No, I don't have any, so we're just gonna have to remove this guy. It's this green belt here. Neither of which we did get. I have to question if that back here in that, I think it was here, we could probably just go this way. Let's just blink. And we'll see. And maybe I need to just like click it in here. It looks like there could be like several positions where the boss could spawn. Silly roach. Alright, so let's just use this and then it's not allowing us. This is supposed to let me just Google this then. Because I'm pretty sure you're supposed to just so, oh, where am I? I just kept walking. So I think I found the information here. Well, doesn't really matter if we take our time doing this. Alright, so this is the final chamber. And he is supposed to be there. Looks like it might be bugged. Let me just confirm that. Ooh, looks like a lot of people are saying it's still bugged. Yeah. Alright. Let's just send in a report then. Well, this is taking a while, isn't it? Give us a second here. There we are. Okay. Yes, this one. Get a bug. Descriptions. Mana tunes. Boss. Boss. Your doesn't spawn in heroic. There we are. So, oh, should I just go didn't spawn? Entered mana things in heroic difficulty, and the boss your didn't spawn. Okay, that'll do. Okay. Well, let's just go back to normal. So if we can't finish it in heroic, we can definitely finish it in normal difficulty. Well, I'm sorry, but there's a bug. There's not much I can do about a bug, but we will continue on normal at the very minimum. Oh, these spiders. Let's just do the world a favor and clear some of them out. So that still means we have 3 items to get. Nonetheless. So, 3 items. We will go until we get the 3 items. Which, knowing my luck, could be all day. Alright, so, switch difficulty to normal. And if you ever need to, you can just sell the junk items here, so. There we go, and then just clear these. Might keep these, they have no sell price to us, but they might sell to other players on the auction house, so let's just run the mana tombs again. And again. Alright, here we go. Pandemonious. Owes us some shoes. Hopefully we do get the boots of the Outlander. We did not. We did get the Starbolt bow. So if you're looking for a cool looking bow, this is one of them. Starbolt bow. Is it a little bit transparent? It is. Guess it's made out of some crystal-like material. Precious leeches. Let's grab that repositories. Yes, and we'll just hide here. Give the leeches a second to get here, and then we can blast them all. Except this guy, apparently. He was doing my trick to me. Using my own spells against me. We have that one collected. I have... It's the one spell that they can hit on me, and it's one of the worst. Alright, let's just over here. Have to get them all. Ranger hat of the quick blade. I think we got that. Yeah, ranger hat. Look pretty cool though. Nothing we wanted from him, but we'll take what he's got. How did I miss that? Alright, clear out this room. Just junk items. Oh, I probably didn't need to kill them like that, but whatever. I'll just drag them together. Sounds like green. No, we've got that one too. It makes sense that there's not many greens left. So look, this is the boss. I'll give you a show of the boss at the very minimum. There we go.
As you can see, we are preoccupied.
Right.
But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you.
So this is the boss here that's supposed to spawn on heroic. I don't think we can get any loot from him on this difficulty, but nonetheless. This is a many-eyed doggo. This is the thing that you're supposed to look out for. You know, if you're a low-level character. So, Otherwise, he really is just healthy. And he just gave us some cloth. But yes, that was the boss there that we were supposed to get. It's a shame that we couldn't give it. But hopefully that bug's fixed pretty quickly. Alright, so 2 items from this guy. Added a total of 18 items, which is making it difficult for us to get the items we want. Exactly my point. So he does have a total of 18 items that we're getting 2 of each time. And the same with Pandemonium. He's got 10 items and we just need 1 of them. So it's you would think it'd be about a 10% drop. But I think the Boots of the Outlander was something like a 13% drop or something like that on the table. So I think the items that we have, according to Wowhead anyway, is the drops are the easy drops that we're trying to get and we're struggling. Alright, we've reset. We can go again. So if I just pull up Pandemonious, let's see. Pandemonious and Nexus Prince Shafar. And then drops. Here it is. So the drops we need from Pandemonious, Boots of the Outlander, Wowhead says there's a 13% drop. Whereas this add-on I'm using, I think it calculates it, the percentage based on how many items there are, like cost total. So if that's the case, there's a 9% drop chance here, but on Wowhead it says 13%. So let's see what we get. We get it. Just like that. Alright. Alright, let's Pandemonious is done. Just the Nexus Prince. That's that dagger that we got along with it. And here's those boots that we was looking for. So red stripe on them, front and back. And there's that dagger that green dagger. Alright, let's go take out the final boss. He's got 2 items we want. And that group right here. Give it a second. We're all closing in. There we go. And just to check everything, yes. Nothing but junk. Nothing but junk. Little snack. Jump. Gonna hide here. Bring their sorcerers. Oh, I've been feared. Wow. We learn something new every day. Purple orb wins. Is that everything? Yeah. There was 2 greens there. Alright, Tavarok, you're gonna give us some mining stuff and some junk items. Alright. There's the Staff of Polarities that we needed from him when we first got here. so. Oh, this group. This group. What have the nether winds brought us? Well, death. Is that a new sword? It is a new sword. We're lucking out with a green sword as well. Sapphire, a jewel sapphire on it. Sort of generic sword look. We have it. Just grab everything in here. And that should do it. Is it just nether weave? I'm not saying no to it, but it only sells for like 8-9 silver. Alright, we can skip your... But it was cool to be able to open it at the very least.
What is this? You must forgive me.
Alright, that's everything. Yeah. Get everything?
But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you.
I do like this guy's energy. He's dead though. Let's see what we get. So, the Ethereal Warp Bow, 12%. And the Stillwater Girdle, I think, is the difficult one. Stillwater Girdle is 1%. So, on here, all the things says that it's a 4.1% drop each. Well, let's just see what we get. Neither. The shield, which ain't too bad. That's a pretty cool looking shield. And this belt. So let's just hide the shield. And use these pants. So that's the belt there, that belt that we got. So we just have to keep going until we get what we want from him. I'm sure we'll get it soon enough. Let's get out of here. And we'll reset and we'll go again. We're up to, what, 94%? So let's reset. I just died. So, let's keep going. All the way to the end. Alrighty. Blink. Technically I could probably skip everything, but I don't feel like it. I like it. So this Starbolt longbow actually had a really low drop rate from this guy. We've gotten it twice now. Gonna lead priests. This group. That group. This group. And I'll just be slow and slowly make up my way. There's always a chance of having new greens that we need. Not that we've had any luck finding many of them. Okay, take that route, and we'll just go this way. Let's drag. We'll just clear this group out, that's fine. We'll move on. What is this song? Lake Wintergrasp. Okay. disappears. You hear the whisper, you're dying. Sounds like something you'd hear from like Cthulhu or something. Maybe Yogg-Saron. Right. There we go. All of them. Clear this guy. Final room. I think if you attack the final boss, they all run at you anyway. So let's just test it.
You must forgive me, but I
Also, we definitely mine this stuff. It's worth quite a bit.
You can see we are somewhat preoccupied right now. But no matter, as I am a gracious host, I have wrong.
Oh, everything stars. Look at that. Wonderful. I feel like I throw my orb at them. There we go. We didn't get what we want from the boss either. I think we might clear our bags and we'll reset. But we're not quitting until we get these last two items. Oh, if we'd land on that, take no damage. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's talk to this shady dealer. This sells whatever this button will sell. And then that sword added to our collections. There we go. A bone collector sword. It is now here. What is this? Wish it would tell us where we got it from. Oh yes, but we've been working on these sets. Alright, let's reset and we'll go again. So either way, we'll either be locked out or we'll get the items. So let's continue. It's easier to just group them. That should be enough. Reaver armor. Oh, we got something new. Let me just hide the text for you. Hide weapon, backpack, and shoulders. Zoom in. We got this chest plate. Not bad. It's a green that we do not have. I'll take it. Right here. Take them out as they get here. There we go. Quite a bit of stuff. If you're looking for netherweed cloth, this is a great way to farm it. Though just about everything in this expansion drops in. Hiding. There we go. that's everything. And nothing at the same time. And then just mining. Alright. Go. Motes of Shadows, they sell not bad. Especially if you get enough that you turn them into the full thing. Bleed. Sorry. What does this thing do? Ethereal Transporter Control Panel. Interesting. I wonder if there's a quest line that you can do that allows you to control, like, connect to those things. I think there's a few more around. It would certainly make doing this dungeon a lot easier. I'm just gonna drag everything.
What is this? Oh, you must forgive me. I was not expecting that. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied. I am wrong. For no matter anything. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you personally.
Okay. That was whatever from the group. Let's see if we get these 2 items. Or at least one of them. I hope it's not like bugged or anything. It's just... doesn't look like it's bugged. Doesn't look like it's bugged, so we're just getting unlucky. That happens on us, doesn't it? Alright, let's leave and then we'll reset and we'll try again. I still can't believe we haven't got this bar. It's 12% drop chance, man. Alright, well that's fine. We'll just keep trying. Now that we've lost. That here will do. There we go. Oh, now we get the Brutes of the Outlander willy-nilly. That's just great. Thanks, game. Because we want those items, we're struggling to get them. But as soon as we have them, we'll get them all the time. I have been slow. Let's just do this then. These people knowing slow is just terribly inconvenient. Alright, lots of greens and nothing we need. I think grabbing this one. Grabbed all of it. Yes. Alright, Pavrock, I'm getting blasted. Getting blasted. that? Oh, it's a mining location. Okay. Let's just drag these ones into this room. Explosion. Helen Guard. Yep, we have that one too. Oh, that guy don't care. $1,031 netherweave cloth. Goes up quickly. Oh, excuse me. Goes up quickly.
What is this? Oh, you must forgive me. I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied right now. But no matter.
Alright,
As I am a gracious host,
cleared.
I will tend to you.
If you're looking away to farm reputation, you can let this guy just hit you, and eventually he'll summon one of these beacons. And these beacons spawn in mobs. So if you're doing it, do it in heroic. But it doesn't last forever. I think it's about an hour before he just decides and dies. He just up and dies. Scepter of the Shatar. Scepter of Shatar. Let's have a look. That's a 1.4% drop. Lucid Dream. Lucid Dream. Braces, a 1% drop. Just curious. Do these have... No, they very unique appearances. They don't... Very well. We are struggling with these last two items. Come. Stuck on 94, almost 95% because of these last two items. Alright. What's that? He's dead. And in his corpse. Oh. Band of Sorrow is a world drop. Not that we needed it. It's a ring, so it doesn't have a unique appearance. But cool nonetheless. Got both groups? Yes. Leap over here, and then an explosion. Imagine being these guys, just witnessing that. bunch of greens. Do we need any? No. Alright. Cover up. Gonna mine you. And move it. Alright. Nothing there either. Stand on top of this guy. This one. This one. I'm sure we'll get them eventually. We'll get these items.
What is this? You must forgive me, but I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied right now. But no
I got my
matter,
Nexus Terror.
as I am the gracious host, I will tend to you.
Alright, let's get these two items. Come on.
Epic battle!
It was an epic battle, wasn't it? Alright. Come on, Ethereal Warp Bike. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Let's just get out of here. He's an ologist. Not sure what he's an ologist of, but he's just an ologist. Now let's go again. Oh, he's cool. Oh, whoop. I have been slowed, but I'm standing still. Alright, nothing good there. I suppose in a way we are making gold just from vendoring all of this, but very low amount of gold. I just hide here for a second. It is kind of ridiculous that we have to be like this, but we're struggling. How many runs did we do last week of this? We did, what was it, about 30 to 40 runs, and we barely got a few items. I'll go this way. Alright. Sorcerer summoned. I realize that they're arcane themes, but I did not read it as arcane themes straight away. I read it as arcane friends. You summon a friend. Can an orb end swirly? Junk. Plenty of junk. Plenty of junk. Let's go. Let's clear this room. I think we're getting a lot faster at taking out all the mobs in this dungeon. And not a green at all that we needed. Alright.
What is this? You must forgive me. I was not expecting company. As you can see,
There's
we
stuff
are
here, and then
preoccupied.
explosion. It is a big
No
explosion.
matter. As I am a gracious
There we go.
host, I will tend to you.
Alright, buddy. You are us. The ethereal warp bar. Or the still water girdle. It was an epic battle. Let's go. A 1% drop and a 12% drop. One that doesn't even have an appearance. Alright, we've done this 16 times already. Well, not today, but like... Alright. Reset. And we'll go and sell this junk. See how much it actually sells. That's it. Alright. I don't know if we had any greens that we needed from this looting session. It's a few runs. Might have. Oh, the chestplate, of course, yes. The Reaver armor has been added to our collections. Oh. That's it there. If I hit shift on it. Oh, well. Reaver armor. No. Reaver armor. Maybe it's not. Oh, because it's a plate, right? So I can't. What? I'm typing it in here now. There it is. That's it there. Alright. Well, empty bags means we can go again. Well, that's not good. Jeez. Some of these characters in the game are just... Alright. Let's do E6. And then from this spot, blink. Pandemonium, good size of here. So, more egg shaped than anything, but whatever. Creep jacker. What the? A fist weapon. Six of Furies.
I'm out of range.
Those are green boots there too. There we are. Some red boots that get out of our face. There we are. I think everything's collected. We've been hit by fairy fire, or fairy fire. And nothing there we needed. Man, this dungeon is like what's keeping us from Wrath of the Lich King dungeons. We could be doing some of their dungeons, and there is one there. One dungeon that has a mount for us. In heroic, of course, but it is a mount nonetheless. Alright, Tavrock blasted. Double blasted, apparently. I got them all. Alright. Darkcaster. Stalkers. I've got third penance. I have been slowed. The priest's slowed. Colossal War Axe. Is that something we need? It is not. What's it look like? That's not colossal. That's not a colossal war axe. Damn game designers misunderstanding the word colossal. That thing should be like 3 times the size of my character for it to be colossal. I just didn't care that I walked right through it.
You must forgive me. I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are
Alright, somewhere here too.
preoccupied right now. But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you. First,
Alright, buddy. Bang.
I am wrong for a good
Come on, warp bar. That's a 1.4% drop chance. And we got it twice. Come on. Oop. Oop. It's not what I want. Really struggling on these items. Alright. Out we go. We will reset. We will go again. Dealing with the bot. Alright, let's do that. It's not new. Quick break, please. There's the zoom. With the zoomies. Look, Fruits of the Outlander. We're getting it all the time now. if I just grab that one and then just flourish. That's a 5 greens. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the lockbox. Alright. Nothing good there either. Oh, this uses rock. They use the rock, they use my own spells against me. None of that is new. Blasting with a swirly. Is that a green we need? It is a green we need. Weapon, shoulders, backpack. Let's go. This one. We needed that shirt. Alright. Clear that. A world drop. And potentially items we don't... Pants we don't have? Look at those pants. Let's just hide the belt. We're getting more and more world drops. There's gotta be a better way on a mage to group mobs up than to use spell steal. Oh, it is working. Don't fix what ain't broke, I guess.
You must forgive me, but I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat
Last wave.
But no matter, as I am a gracious host, I will tend to.
Give us the goods. What do we get? Sigil of Shafar this time. I don't think I've ever... that's an easy drop to get 12% on Wowhead. Alright, here's what we do. We hop out of the dungeon, I go have lunch, and then we come back and get those 2 items. I feel like that's what we should be doing. Clearing out the local pest problem. Okay, let's clear the bags while we're here. Alright, clear. Let's see what it sells. Not great. That's right, we got a few greens, didn't we, in this? Let's have a look. Let's just hop out of that guy. The Reaver leg plates. Dead. Daggerfen battle vest. Marsh creeper slug boots. So, the Sunrock chest piece. Colossal war axe. The iron spine. Look at it, it's a bare hand. Alright, so stand up here. Look down. Look at this chick. I'm gonna go for lunch. I will be back, and then we will get those 2 items. So, I'll see you back then. Alrighty, guys, let's continue. Back from lunch. Back from lunch. Howdy, howdy. Let's get back to it. We got two items from the final boss. So let's keep going. We're at 94.87%. Let's go sit a bit closer. Alright, let's keep going. Blink. Alright. We are having a grand old time in here. This side of the room is completed. Nexus. Everything. There we go. That makes that room a lot easier. Sorcerer, Terra, Caster, Caster, Blink, Metallic, Caster, Caster, Terra, Jump, and we'll use this one. There we go. That clears that room. Well, that corridor, I suppose. Abra. There we go. Let's go. Caster, Stalker, Spellbinder, Terra. Destructor Blade. Well, it's not a disc. Alright, final room. 2 items left. We can get it.
You must forgive me. I was not expecting.
We'll also mine pouring.
Somewhat preoccupied, right? But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you.
It does sell quite well, Corium. If you spot it, line it up. Here we go. Warp bow and the Stillwater Girdle. Here we go. They've given this guy so many items that it actually made it difficult to get the items that we want. So what do they say? There's 4.1%. Let's just do some quick math. I just open up my calculator here. Right? So if they're all equal, the items, they should be at 5.5% chance. Which the bonus roll is at. Alright, let's reset and go again. We'll get it eventually. Daggerfin Cow of the Fireflash. Alright. So, bottom right hand corner of the screen. Down that way. Way over there on the other side. Follow the mouse. Over here. You can see the drop. That's available until the 12th of this month. Ends at my time 3 AM. That's 3 AM GMT 10 plus. Or plus 10. However you want to work that out. So the conditions for getting that drop for WoW, and that's on retail, is to watch WoW content on Twitch for 4 hours. And you're welcome to do it here. And you can also do it on other streamers. We just got some boots. Let's hide that. Here they are. These new boots. Bogslayer Sabatons of the Fireflash. Caster, Raider, Priest, Terror, Caster? Caster. Leech, Caster, Caster, Terror, Caster. If I grab from here, should I get it from... Alright. This guy. Boom! Swirly. Right in the gut. Scimitar of the Nexus Stalkers. What does that look like? Well, it's a scimitar, but someone's bent it a bit too far. I couldn't imagine using that. Spellbinders, we'll grab from that group too. Alright. This side. Group, that group, and that group. And the Terror. Room solved.
I don't have a target.
Ethereal Spellbinders. The third jurist.
What is this?
Leech.
You must forgive me.
Leech.
I was not expecting company.
This guy.
As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied.
There we go.
But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend
At least listening to this guy isn't troublesome, you know? Like, it doesn't sound bad. It's like... He's got a good voice.
I have wrong for a goddess lynch.
Alright. Ethereal Warp Bow and a Stillwater Girdle. Let's go. And we get neither. And toilet. Looks like quite a few people are having troubles getting this bar. Alright, reset, we go again. People are having a lot of trouble getting this bar. And people are having trouble getting the Stillwater girdle as well. And I almost picked up that word, something chronic. Alright. How many times are we going to get Boots of the Outlander now that we have it?
I'm out of range.
Oh. He's sneaking around the other way. Alright. Let's move forward. Sarah, Sorcerer, Priest, Sorcerer. 5 of Furies. There we are. Is that everything? Looks like it.
It's too far away.
Anyway, just blast. Just gonna start blasting. There we go. So some people have said that they took close to 5 hours just to get the belt. Considering last week and this week so far, we're coming up on 3.5 hours. So let's see if we can get it. Alright, last room.
What is this? You must forgive me, but I was not expecting company. As you
I wonder if in the next
preoccupied,
next expansion,
but no matter.
the Midnight expansion, that we might get
I will tend to you.
Ethereals or Brokers as a playable race. Alright. Warp bow and the girdle. Let's go. We are struggling. Clearly, the information on Wowhead is not correct. I wonder if I can... I just go to options, add-ons, all the things. Oh, well that... That's nice. Let's see... Hey. was in here somewhere, wasn't it? Doesn't look like I can show you. Doesn't look like I can show you the stuff that was here. I want to show the old stuff. Now that's just color of the interface, right? It's in here. Loot mode? Ah, here it is. Alright, so let's just. You can see all of his items in here. I'm gonna just go back here and this. So here is all the different things that he can drop. And we're having struggles in getting those 2 items. I wonder if on heroic he has a better chance to drop them. No, he has a less chance to drop them. Oh goodness, right? Alright, well, let's turn that back off. Let's have this interface. That was in here, wasn't it? Yes, get loot. There we are. It's just the Nexus print. Honestly, it's kind of ridiculous. It says here that's a 5.5% chance to drop. And it's just very sad that we've been here for so long. Alright, let's just start the blinking. Alright, we have that.
I need to get closer.
This is run 22 of this dungeon over the last 2 days that we have done this. There we go. Arcane missiles. I too also know that spell. Alright, our bag is starting to get very full. Have to clear it after this run. Here's what? Whoa, that guy could go in the wall. Got some special ability I didn't know about. Excuse me, we don't have this staff. Okay, so this is a recolor of the one that you can get from the Magis's Terrace. Nonetheless, I will take it, and we will blast this guy with some fire, and then mine his corpse. Alright, this group. I wonder how far we can take this, so we can get both rooms. Does look like it. Oop. And we have this. Very full bags. Also makes me wonder if you could just like drag the entire dungeon to the final boss.
You must forgive me, but I was not expecting company.
Alright,
As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied.
fire.
But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you.
Alright, let's see. Let's do some ice. Cold wind, I guess. Alright, warp bar and girdle. Let's run 22 over 2 days. We are struggling. We can get it. How did I leave you behind? Alright, well. Somehow that happened. Alright, let's keep going. Let's go, sell. Lots of stuff. If we get locked out, maybe I'll just go looking for some battle bets. Seems to be quite a few of them that I need, so... Let's see. Come on. Come on, game. This is all junk. Did have a few greens that we were lucky to get because we're not getting the blues that we want. Not getting the boss drops. Quickly clean up. There we go. Vengeance Staff and the Bogslayer Sabatons. Reset. Let's go. Once more onto the breach. Now we're still just getting the Roots of the Outlander, just whenever we feel like it. Right. Should do it. Group and that group.
I'm out of range.
And the Terra. Because for some reason, he doesn't give a damn that we're pulling all of the people, all of the ethereals. over here. There we go. Messy, but we did it. High Mountain Hammer of the Fire Flash. We don't have it. We got a wooden hammer with a bit of metal on it. Very cool. Alright. Ice time. Robe of the Great Dark Beyond. Vivid. Ain't gonna lie, that one's vivid. Alright. Let's grab all of it. Turns, scorpions, spellbinders. Wow. Someone shut me up. Release the character. I can still talk. Who's saying they silenced me? Vindicator cap. Have it. Arcane explosions. Dangerous.
What is this?
Manually.
You must forgive me. I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied right now. But no matter, as I am a gracious host.
Cool. Gonna drive. Oh! Oh! Stillwater girdle. There we go. There it is. Whew. Oh, we had another one there. Okay. We're ever so closer. Let's update this. We're at 94, 97, and 90. Look at that. One item to go. Woo! It's been kind of crazy. Been kind of insane. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's reset, and we'll go again. Reset, let's go. So that was the difficult one to get. It was? Let's just keep going. We're getting on a roll. It certainly feels better when you first go into a dungeon. You're like, oh, I don't have much of this, and then you just go. And you're collecting everything every time you run, and now when you get towards the end, it's a few items always doing your head in. I'm gonna grab these leeches. Not to mention the amount of nether we've gotten. Almost, we're getting close to 3k. What was the highest we had after one day? Close to 5,000, I think it was. Getting slow there. Nice. Yep, I think my arcane missiles work better than these guys. We are getting quite a few of these gems. I wonder how well they sell on the auction house. I mean, I sold the last lot that we had, so. That looks like it's all of them. Tanjiro Staff of the Quick Blade. I have it. What does it look like? Rough. That's rough. Kind of a Prince Zuko. When he's talking to Sokka. Or Sokka? However you want to say his name. About losing Yue, she becoming the moon. That's rough, buddy.
I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied.
Let's go. Boom.
But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you.
That's something I don't have. Silvermoon War Mace of the Quick Blade. There we are. That's the mace with blades on it. Oh, footbar. What are those boots? Look at that. Blue boots. And then the scepter. The scepter is cool. I think it's clipping just a little bit. I need a little bit of work. I mean, considering you see it most of the time, it's like character, unless you like zoomed in like close to like this, then you wouldn't see it. I'd say that if I don't have a big animated staff as it is. Alright, go out and we'll reset once more. Built Dengari Shield of the Quick Blade. I like how they don't react to the friends falling over. Another world drop. Alright. That's one side of the room done.
It's too far away.
And we'll just drag everything under these two. Dementia gloves. Unless that's supposed to be pronounced Dementia. But I don't think so. Alright. Left everything. Shadow Blade, Shadow Council Orb. Alright, fire. Blood Garnet. and this random sorcerer got left behind. He did. He's like, I'm coming, guys. That guy had to work up the courage to come confront me. Alright, last room. Come on, make this the last run. This dungeon.
What is this? You must forgive me. I was not expecting company.
Hey,
We are somewhat
they made me scared.
But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you.
Alright. Fire! Oh, the beacon fire. There we go. Alright. Warp bow. We get the Stillwater Girdle again. Come on. Now that we've got it, right? It's either that or there's like a WoW dev. Just, you know, it's like watching. It's like, ha ha ha, you can't get it. Alright. Let's get out of here and we'll go again. I realize our bags are pretty full, but there's enough room for one more run.
It's too far away.
Thank you. And there we go. Gotta admit, this twin blade thing looks pretty cool. Feels like if you squeeze it, it should like play up like a crab. Transmog and leeches. Oh, yeah. Another design. A wardrobe and a bag. Oh, we've hit over 3,000. It's not bad. I don't know. There we go. Is that everything? Swirly. And you know you're not supposed to stand in the swirly, buddy. Golden Draenite. Alright, these three. Two, those two, this one. These three? Yes. This one. Those three. Those three. That one. There's four. Oh, I got them all. Nice. I got them all. Let's keep going. Alright. Next is Terra.
What is this?
Yes, I have been silenced.
I was not expecting company.
That one, that one.
Somewhat preoccupied right now. But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I
Oh. Alright, whoop hard, whoop hard. Come on, we must be close, right? Alright, let's get that. Alright, before we reset, let's just clear out as much as this will let us. Why it doesn't view more is junk. Okay, options. Okay. Okay, well anyway. Let's start by getting rid of that bag and these boxes. We did have a few greens, didn't we? Or a couple. There we are. Was 3. Iron Mountain Hammer. Silver Moon War Mace. And the Dementia Cord, which you can't see. Which for some reason is only now adding it to our collection. And it doesn't want to appear. Alright, reset. Alright, let's go. He's got one item slots. One item. What O's it took? The hell? Buddy? You're getting left behind there. You had something to say.
I'm out of range.
Those ones that catch up. Starry robes. I think they look pretty cool. Yeah, they do. Just leeches. Just leeches. Really just hit the screen when they explode. Khan-ish breastplate. We have it. Alright, that one, Terra, Sorcerer, Darkcaster, Leech, Darkcaster, Terra, Darkcaster, Villager. This guy can't make up his mind where he's going. Playing with him. He's like, man, they're running around table. Swirly. Another bag. Traveler's backpack this time. Maybe you should put the warp bow inside of it. Okay. how fast mana comes back. You'd never be able to do this in oh, we're silenced. Let's just give it a second and bang. Okay. Out of man fight.
What is this? You must forgive. I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied right now. But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend to you.
Alright, wolf bar, here it is. 27 tries over 2 days. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna reset. I'm just gonna be back in a second, guys. I'm gonna throw some stuff in the dryer. Alright, then, let's continue, shall we? Alright. Reset. Let's go. We are one item away from being free. And not just free of this dungeon, but free of this expansion. Group. You. Okay, then. That cluster. And that group. I wonder if I can. Yeah. Ooh. Roots of Savagery. A world drop. A world drop that I do not have. Not bad. Build him in the feet. Loot his body and then mine his body for the rest. Turns out this time it was made out of Shadow Draenite. This one. Shoot. And the tower, and then we come over here. There we go. All of them.
What is this? Oh, you must forgive me, but I was not expecting company. Somewhat preoccupied. But no matter, as I am a gracious
All right.
host,
Alright, gracious host. Ethereal warp bar, please.
an epic battle.
I do know that the bands of negation have a high drop, so it explains why we're constantly getting them. But still, I would love to get this warp bar. Alright, time to reset and go again. Oh no. We've hit the instance block. Alright. We have a few things we can do while we wait. The number one thing is to get out of this particular area. And collect some of the stuff. Can we look for those pets? I think we can look for those pets. What's this one? Stripe-tailed scorpion? Where is it? Here somewhere. You up? Surely not. Have you spawned inside the wall? Alright, well, let's go find it somewhere else then. This is a rat. We don't have a rat, apparently. Alright, let's howl. And then we super bark. Then we catch it. And then we bark. And again. Oi. Why has it got swords? It has Doug. Yeah, just bark. Yeah, Doug on the ground. You're hurting poor Grumpy. We got ourselves a rat. It's in our bag. Heal them all up. Also, while that is open, I can't get to that yet. I want to keep the bark. And then that's exactly it. Alright, shall we find another one? There's this striped-tailed scorpion. I do need one of them. Let's see. Let us switch to Grumpy. How do you do? Super bark. Let's catch it. There we are. Caught. Now we just have to win. Who's got some things that are good against it? No? We'll just use the ankle render. So use this one, the Black Claw. Puts debuff on him. And then normally in this case you would use the hunting party. And this is why, because every hit gets boosted by the 130 Black Claw. Put that on him. I'll switch out to at the Grumpy. There we go. We got our striped-tailed scorpion. Alright. 6 minutes. Team is still good. Okay, so let's go up. This way. Our tail, that's not what we're looking for. Nor are we looking for rats. Apparently you can find skunk in here. Squirrel. There's a warp stalker thingy in here that we were looking for. Here it is. Alright, let's do some healing on our team. Alright, now let's switch to Grumpy. Alright. We howl. And then we super bark. Catch him. Oh, bark the squirrel. Bark at the squirrel. Do it again. Alright, so he's got this shielding up. Let's just neutralize that. Alright. Super bark. Poison. Alright, well, this fight's done. Grumpy's done excellent here. Oh, and our turnip has evolved. Leveled up. Let's go looking for Layer Youngling. And a skunk. Skunk? Nope. Skunk? Nope. Squirrel. There's a skunk. Alright. It's two skunks actually. Now I do this so I can heal up the teammate a little bit. Then we'll just go for some hits. Ha, I've missed two. They missed and then I actually hit. Alright, heal up again. They're faster. If I manage to hit here. Probably get one more heal in before our turnip needs to switch. Okay. Switch. Grumpy. We should be able to just get a super bark. Yeah. Got him. Ow. And then a bark. Almost. Oh, 3 hits. I think it would be... No, we can super bark here. Grumpy's just too good against critters. Oh, we missed. The 25 debuff on entrance for a skunk is pretty cool. Alright. Our turnip has leveled... Nope. Turnip has leveled up again. Let's just heal up. Now, until the last one fly up. This player are up here. I suppose you could probably find them down there too. Player Youngling. Okay. Can you just try and shield him? Look at this big fella. Alright, let's actually go for another hit here. Does make it easier. Oh, of course. Let's go again. Alright, if that's the case, we'll go for a heal. And then a punch. He seems to be healing on hit. Some ability. Maybe that's just his passive. Luckily, our ability, our basic attack, can't kill, so there's the youngling. I'll do another heal. Let's switch to, in this case, our friend. Hit. And then let's just start going ham. What do we do? Increase the damage. We do actually have to switch here, which is kind of silly. This guy, in the way. There we go. It's done. We have all the pets. We have all the pets. So, while we fly back, Sons of the Root. Very cool. All the pets completed. Manitombs is the tough one, so we'll take a nosedive. And I'm just making sure we did in fact reset it. Let's go, if it lets us in. Yes, here we go. Kill the arch. Ranger gloves. Alright. Stand on the corpse. And I've been slowed. There we go. And I'm slurred again. How did that roach not die? He's a roach, that's it, huh? What he's good at, surviving. Okay. Snake friend is gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Barrels. Then around it. Just waiting. There we go. Swirly. Gonna loot him and then steal his corpse. Alright, grab these 2 rooms. And the Terror. Stand sort of over here. Get them all here. Camera went a little bit strange there, but nonetheless, we got what we wanted. New chest piece. Weapon, shoulders back. Part of the Blood Knight. Good set. We have those slave handler ones. Alright. Furious Thurgerist.
What is this? You must forgive me. I was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied right now. But no matter. As I am a gracious host, I will tend
A
to
gracious host. A dead host. Alright. What bar? No, but now we're getting the Stillwater Girdle. Constantly getting the Stillwater Girdle. What are we at? 29 for the last 2 days. And we're at... We are at 47 for the last week. Okay. Let's keep going. Set. Let us in.
It's too far away.
Okay. Everything? And nothing we needed from Sorcerer, Raider, Terror, Sorcerer. Almost at 4,000. Leech. Start
I'm out of
casting.
range.
Stop casting slow on me. It's the worst spell in this game. Alright, nothing new there. Let's start blasting. Alright, there's 3, there's 2, there's 2, there's 2, 2. Terror and Spellbinders. And that should do it. Green. See. Have them all. Alright. Last room.
What is this? was not expecting company. As you can see, we are somewhat preoccupied. But no matter. As I am
Okay.
a gracious host, I will tend to you.
Give us the whopper. Woo! Yes! Only took forever. Oh my goodness. We are done. Woo! Especially considering we can't. It's bugged on heroic. So let's get out of here. Here's the warp bar in the inventory. Here it is. Yes. Not that I'm a particular or a hunter. I don't know about most people, but I just can't play hunter. I just feels weird. To me, does. Not judging those that do. They are free to play it. Look at us. I'm just gonna quickly just jump back in so I saw what the percent was. Was it 93? And we'll just throw that up there. I'll make a little note next to it. Your budget. Okay. Let's get back out. This is awesome. This is awesome. Slim, need to buy office. That's right, we got some greens too, didn't we? Or just the one? Then we can get out of the Manitoons. Yay. What is this? A mount if we get to the end. Ooh, look at that. Looks pretty cool. Looks like a door. Here we are, back at Shatra. We'll sell all this crap except for this. I have Haramat. I'll definitely put that in the bank. Bunk.
Baladash Malinore. Be ready
Alright. Actually, mailbox first, just to check if there was anything that expired. Let's have a look. Few things expired, mostly cards, I guess. Okay. Well, we can put it back up.
Our enemies will
Sell. Start with the pet. They're selling it at 40, I'll sell it at 20. Ethereum prison key. I'll just go straight to 80. It's a flat number. 5 of lunacy. Yeah, we'll just sell it at whatever's there. Lowest. Alright. No, 30. 30 gold's gonna be okay. Look at that. There are 200. Look at this one. 300. I'm not that fast on it. 300. I'm telling you. Like, old stuff doesn't sell. Like, especially recipes. That can go up there. That can go up there. Thorium. Look at how much that sells for. This is going for 8. No. Alright, we're not selling it. Not like that anyway. It's the same as vendor price at the moment. I'm not paying anyone to
Remember the sun well.
vendor an item. Alright, inscription.
Choose wisely.
There we go.
Salama
Clear bags.
Ashamanore.
Where are we going to next? Dalaran in Northrend. TBC is complete. So, let us just, as soon as pops back, just there. We are in Dalaran, the Northrend one. We will be doing these quests. So, fly up. There's a good spot, somewhere on a roof. Here? Yeah. Look at that thing. The cold weather flying through the... Thought that might be a good roof, but... Look at this place. And we can't get up to the Violet Parlor up here. But we can stand here. Overlook Dalaran. It's very different from the Legion one. Yeah, that's a bit of an angle, isn't it? Yeah, we can go over here. Yeah. Look at us looking down. Looking out over Dalaran. Let's just zoom in. Got a fence. There we go. That's a long ass way down. This feels wrong. Let's not do this. Let's go hop a squat at one of these bars. No, that's the one that works. Let's go. Let's go grab a seat. Alright. Food, please. Or this one. No, let's do this one. This one's got some food. Ooh, what the hell? Am I a bit small for this chair? I haven't thought the legs of the chair through. Ugh. Nonetheless. Alright, barkeep. Keep them coming. Thanks for turning up, for guys. That's the end of the TBC dungeon runs. We will continue in Northrend. Wrath the Lich King dungeons. I think there's about the same amount of dungeons. And there is a mount that I have not collected on Heroic, and we will be attempting it every single day. Thanks for turning up, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.